Women of Rubies present her Success Story series. Her Success Story series is a platform dedicated to celebrating exceptional women who are making a meaningful impact in their fields and communities. The series is all about showing women that it is possible through the real, raw, and powerful journeys of women. Sit back, relax, and welcome to her Success Story series. Hello and welcome to another episode on her Success Story series. We apologize for the late start. We had a little bit of technical issues, but that is all sorted now, and I'm super excited that we are back. Yay! Okay, so we were away for like 2 rounds, so we skipped 1 round, and then we're back on the show. I hope that you've been having a great year so far. Welcome to the second half of 2025. When did we just say Happy New Year? Are we already in July? Where is 2025 running to? I don't know if you feel the same way, but the year is going so fast. And I hope that so far it's been good for you. Recently, every time somebody asks, how are you doing, especially in chats, I just say, I am growing because 2025 is stretching. It has stretched me. And I'm grateful for growth. I'm grateful for the gift of life, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be hosting her Success Story series. I see you. Thank you, Gracie. Yes, if you're here online, please let us know that you're here. Tell us where you're connecting from. Hi, Grace. Thank you for joining, and so early. Okay, I'm loving this message. Let me read it out. It says, E elegant, N noble, E empowered, R radiance, G gifted, E exceptional, C tenacious, R inspiring, C courageous, E electrifying, J hey God, only me. Oh, my head is been swelling. Oh, thank you so much, Grace. Thank you for connecting from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. You are welcome. We appreciate your presence here. Thank you for connecting. If you're here, please show yourself, represent your city, represent your state, represent yourself in the comment section. Let us know that you're with us and you're part of this conversation. Of course, you know how we do it here on her Success Story series. Success is a very, very interesting topic. And for every person that we have interviewed so far, they have their own definition of success. And so I'm curious to know what our guest's definition of success is today as we unravel her own success story and her journey from where she was to where she is today. Today on the show, we have none other than Veronica Olukotun. I'm just going to read a very short version of her bio, and then, of course, she's here, and then we're going to hear it from the unicorn's mouth. Right? So, Veronica Olukotun is an award winning fashion designer, educator, and entrepreneur whose journey beautifully intertwined artistry, education, and innovation. Recently honored as the 2024 recipient of the AC Awards Fashion Designer Award in Edmonton, Veronica has solidified her place as a trailblazer in the fashion industry. Her designs, recognized for their elegance and ingenuity, inspire creativity and empowerment in communities far and wide. And that is the person that we would be talking to today. So please go and share this link wherever you're connected, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. Share this link, invite a sister in, because I can assure you that you will be inspired by Veronica's story today. And I don't want to enjoy it alone. So please go and call all the ladies in the building to join us. Hello, Veronica. Good evening from here. Good
Good
morning to
morning
you.
from here.
How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for asking. How are you too?
I am growing.
I can see that.
Oh my goodness. Thank you finding time to be a part of the show and for the willingness to also share your story. I've been in contact with numerous, hundreds of women, and I know how uncomfortable sometimes it is for women to share their stories. For some people, it's like, is it necessary? I don't want to blow my own horn, no. But when we find women who understand the power of sharing their stories, knowing that it's not from the place or the angle of blowing their horns, but from the place of sharing those stories to inspire other people, to give
It's
other women permission to say, if I can do it, then you can too.
kind of.
We are so excited to have such women. And so, thank you for your journey so far and for your willingness to share your story with us.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine. Like, if I can say that, the pleasure is
Absolutely,
mine.
absolutely. So, we're going to ease into the conversation today by asking the general question that I ask all the ladies that are here, because you've heard it said over and over again, success is subjective. You know, what
It's
success means to you is different from what success means to me. And sometimes what success means to me now is different from what success meant to me in January. Right?
true that.
So I would love to know from you today, what does success mean for you, at least in this moment?
That's a deep question, but I would say the ability to grow while contributing to other people's lives.
Mm,
For me, success is defined as the ability to impact others, help people regardless of where you are. You know, um, it's very important that while you're trying to fill your own cup, because obviously you can't pour from an empty cup, you are, intelligent enough to know that there are other people around you whose prayer points is where you are currently. And if you can inspire
mm,
others, you can encourage them to grow and achieve whatever it is they set their mind to achieve based on your own experience.
mm, mm,
Everybody's story is unique, everybody's success
right.
definition is unique, but if someone can see you achieve great things despite where you are, regardless of whether you're up there or low, that you just keep moving, that's something that it's very important.
Right.
My dad used to say, and I'm trying not to make this about my dad because I don't know. My dad used to say there is no success without a successor. And that's
Mm,
it's yeah,
that's
it's
deep.
it's
That's
very important that we all have that mindset. And
deep.
a successor that can be, anybody that's, you can uplift, anybody that you can inspire to, keep growing and keep working on their own goals as well. So yeah, that's my
Right.
definition of success, the ability to impact others.
I love it. I love it. And honestly, I think I agree with your dad that there is no success without a successor. Like if you have everything and then nobody can carry on that legacy, whether from your loins or from somebody who is learning from your mentee or whatever, like then is it really success? Is that really
Success,
true
yeah.
success, right? So I love it and I agree with your dad on that one. I love where you went. It's so glaring because my first question, like my first really question, is just expose yourself like you're a daddy's girl, like your parents are your backbone, like no joke.
No
Only
jokes at all.
less than 5 minutes into the conversation, already
I
chipped in what
try.
daddy said.
I try not to expose that part, but
It is who you are. Please enjoy it.
absolutely,
Enjoy
yeah.
it. We love it. Okay, thank you everyone for joining. I see you. I see you, Grace, again. Thank you, Justina. Thank you, Adeniyi, for joining us today. So I'll just dive right into the conversation because me, I'm always curious to know. I mean, when somebody, number one, when somebody has done a lot in their lives and careers, and then they are now willing to share. See, I am willing to listen. I mean, I'm willing to like drill with questions because we want to learn from you as well.
Bring it on.
So I love when you went to mentioning daddy. So I'll start from there. Your parents. How, I've read, part of your part of your features, and I know how you talk about your parents a lot as being your backbone. So, just for people who are meeting you for the first time here on this platform, how did your parents' influence shape your creative journey and the value behind consist? So, I needed to know, is it consistent or
Yeah.
consist like French? Okay,
No,
consistent.
consistent.
All right, consistent fashion, and what does honoring them through your brand name mean to you today?
Perfect question to actually expose all that I'm trying to hide, but it's okay. It's a good starting point again. Yeah. To begin, I would say that Consiste was born out of the heart,
Hmm.
community, and of course, there's this God factor that has blessed me with amazing parents. Because even the naming itself, I think that's one of the first things I should say. The naming itself is a combination of my parents' nickname, right? And I can dive deep into that and then, elaborate more.
Please go ahead.
My dad's first name is Cosmas. And
Ah, I
so
knew it.
a lot of his friends and folks and everybody, they called him Cosy,
Gussie.
Cosy. And then my mom, growing up in a very large family, had a nickname to be Siste. You know how you have sister without the R.
Ah, sister. Oh,
So I took the
oh, they like
course.
sister. Okay,
Exactly,
cool.
kind of thing, right? So I took the course and merged it with Siste and then, easily. And then while trying to define and, do some, deeper work and give a meaning to the name, more meaning to the name, I found out that because Siste it actually means to stitch together in Spanish.
Oh,
So it just
wow. I
brings everything together
love
for me.
it.
That on one end. On the other end, honoring them. My dad is late, but
Oh,
he remains
rest
a very strong
part of
inspiration
you.
and
Yeah.
backbone for me, I would say,
Mm,
because he was a lecturer, he was an entrepreneur as well. And we grew up in a home where we were creative. A lot of us, I mean, all of us were, we were doing stores and all that. And there was this particular day, if my siblings are on, I'm sure they would remember. There was this particular day we were playing rough in the house, and then I ran into, Nigeria. We had this net, a door, but I had this net to prevent
mosquitoes,
mosquitoes.
yeah.
So I ran into it, I damaged it, it
Ouch.
reached. And we were all scared that is going to be mad at us. What do we do? And he was a very observant man. There was no way he would not catch it.
You miss it.
So I looked for something to, cover up that that mess I had created. And so it was needle and thread. And I I took my time, I stitched it together very neatly using the same color of the net, just because I wanted to conceal it, right? I wanted to hide it.
Yeah.
And I succeeded because for a long time he didn't, I'd even forgotten. He didn't even notice it for so long. And
Whoa.
then one day he looked at it and he was like, what's going on here? And because time had passed, I don't know what happened, but I felt more, confident and comfortable. I
Confident.
created the mess, but I fixed it that like this was what I did. And I expected a, reaction, maybe go kneel down there or go some form of punishment. And he was so pleased. He was so pleased that he told everyone who cared to listen, his
Wow.
colleagues at work. Imagine you hearing a parent speak so highly of you to another adult. So it
Wow.
boosted my confidence.
Confidence.
It made me
Mm.
feel as if, oh wow, this must be a good thing. And so I continued to learn. I continued to improve myself to impress daddy. I wanted daddy to be happy. So in case somebody
Aw,
reads a
you wanted
post
daddy
or
to
somebody,
tell more of your stories.
that was the starting point. My mom, on the other hand, a teacher who had a side hustle, so to speak. He had a shop
Mm,
where we sold baking items. And so he would finish 9 to 5 and then resume at the shop. We had sales
mm,
reps. After school, we would all retire there. And I saw, buying and selling
and
firsthand.
selling.
So a
Mm,
combination of those two things helped me, formed the background, I would say. And
right.
then, of course, there is always that need to evolve.
Mm.
So I grew into. I like to describe myself as someone who wears many hats. I
Mm.
have equal interest in several things: bead making,
Fantastic.
cloth making, air fascinators, so many things, customizing t-shirts, so many things. And so I started learning,
Mm.
and I started teaching my friends how to make those things. It
Wow.
was first just the hobby,
Just
the
hobby,
ability, the
yeah.
confidence that, oh, I'm going to make this and show my dad that I made this, and daddy would be proud of me again. And somehow it grew into business because daddy would go to school, he would tell his colleagues. At the time, I don't want to start mentioning names, but a lot of his colleagues would buy some of my products to say, oh, ẹ sọ fún Yemi kó bá mi ṣe belt for mommy, because I would make beaded belts. I would write customized beaded belts. I would write the kids' name in
Names.
it, and
Wow.
that was it for me. And of course, as the years passed, I began to expand more. At some point, I was working with several NGOs in Nigeria with the Ministry of Women Affairs. We were doing
Oh.
trainings. We were
Wait,
trying. Of
wait,
course,
wait.
it
Were
was
you part of the, hey, that was the name of this WAPA.
WAPA at some point. Yes, he did WAPA at some point. He did
I
WAPA
could
at
have
some
been your
point.
student at some
Uh,
point.
and then the one that actually that I found very what's the word now, that I was most passionate about at some point
Mm.
was this program where we were it was empowerment for teenage girls who
Mm.
had gotten pregnant,
Oh, wow.
had to be out of school, and they
In
needed to cater
Lagos.
for their kids. So imagine the
Was it in
honor,
Lagos?
the honor and the privilege of being part of that team who worked on empowering those
This,
ladies. And
that's a
imagine the
beautiful.
pride that came with seeing them make those items, making money, and
Mm.
being able to cater to themselves and their kids.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
beautiful.
and with my dad being my parents being in the academia, I knew the value of education, and I just knew that for me it seemed as, yeah, it was a good thing, but it was not enough. So at some point, I would speak to those girls, encourage them that, you know what, you can go to school, you can go back to
Right.
school. So in addition to this, education is very important, and I can tell you today
Mm.
that a lot of them went back to school, got their lives back
Oh,
together,
oh.
and they're in better places. So that's one project that I find very, very inspiring. Like, it was I still, sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, oh my god, what a privilege, what a
Oh,
privilege. I
so
don't know
sweet.
if I've digressed. If I have,
No, you didn't.
yeah, but so that was, so growing and evolving, and growth is very important. And even
Mm.
biologically, anything that doesn't grow dies,
It's
right?
dead. Yeah.
Yeah, so you must be able to grow. And with Nigerian fashion industry, you'll be nowhere if you're not growing and evolving with the trends, with
Right.
what's in vogue now and those kind of things. So the
Right.
ability to continuously improve yourself, in addition to um, improving the quality of your person,
Mm.
empathy, showing that as much as you're human, other people are too. They can make mistakes, and
Right.
you should be able to accommodate, understand,
Be
tolerate,
empathetic towards them. Mm.
while you are trying to impart knowledge and while you're trying
Right.
to also
I
grow.
love it.
So
I love it.
those are the very
Wow.
important factors for
Your
me.
mom,
Yeah,
your mom and dad really did a good job, and I just want to plug it in there. Like, please, dear parents, especially now, like we cannot overemphasize the power of affirming our kids.
absolutely.
Like, kids will be kids, right? Kids will
Yeah,
mess up, but there is power in the way that we respond to them. If we
right,
respond to them in a disempowering manner, that little scream, that little, you don't know anything, that little words, or those words might seem, I'm just giving it to them as it is, but you don't know how far it would
right,
go. Versus
right,
when you actually chastise them lovingly, but affirms them in the process, where they know, like, they can clearly see that they messed up, but they also know that their mess up does not affect your love and your
for
pride
them.
in
Yeah,
them. Like, it's
right.
so powerful. So kudos to daddy. And yes, he's no longer with us, but see how his impact is still guiding you even till now, even
Right.
while
I
it's
can
even
see it.
away. And it's so
Yeah.
powerful. I think that's such a beautiful lesson for us as parents to pick from this conversation. Now, your background is very versatile. And like I said, like, I'm a woman of many hats. Yes, we have our kind. Hey, nice to meet you. So, your background spans IT, fashion, and education. How has your academic and technical foundation in information technology influenced your work as a designer and entrepreneur in the fashion world? Earlier today I was interviewing somebody, and this person was trying to convince me of how, like, they are in a different industry, and they want to get into an opportunity of a different industry, and he just
Right.
went on telling me how he can transfer his, I'm like, wow, I love it. I'm out, I'm sold, right? So yeah, tell me, how did you connect it? How has your IT background helped in your entrepreneurship journey?
Oh, that's another very interesting question. Thank you. Um, I always say that education is a form of training for your
Hmm.
brain
Oh,
to
okay.
actually, um, when you train your brain to um, learn things fast and
Right.
apply, and that's
Hmm.
where knowledge comes in, and apply those things where they are relevant, because education will be useless if you're not able to apply it, right?
Right.
And
Oh,
so, oh
yes.
yeah, that's where knowledge comes in, right?
Yes.
Just imagine you're just learning stuff and you don't have an opportunity to apply, or you just don't even get to apply them. It's just
Absolutely.
you're
We
not different
had
from
those
someone
we
who
had
just
those issues
exactly who
back in
doesn't
the
know.
days where people who studied computer science, and they did not see any computer.
Right. So yeah, that's the first thing that's my mindset. And so what it has done for me is it has helped me um fuse things together
Hmm.
as fashion trends, as training or learning management systems, as those things are evolving. Because I have been in IT for almost forever, like all my life. I've been in IT.
Wow. So IT was where you
And I'm
started.
still,
Just IT was where you
yeah, that
like
was where I started
studied,
from. Yeah,
but your creativity was coming alongside it. I love it.
simultaneously. I remember, yeah, okay, maybe I should speak a little bit about my academic background. I studied computer science in Lagos State Polytechnic, in Obafemi Awolowo University, in University of Lagos, at Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, and currently at
Madam,
Walden University.
how did you do all of this?
I don't know. I don't know. And I choose to go that route without going by, what degrees I earned and all that. But, at all those institutions, I studied computer science and
Wow.
economics, information technology, those kind of things, all true.
Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
to put it that way, yeah. And so I have and when computer science is wide, right?
Right.
And so if I
Right.
would streamline that, I would say I'm more of a data analytics, health information management person,
Okay.
right? I
Mhm.
currently work in a government, or in I would say in a provincial health
Sector.
facility, I would say,
Oh,
and I
okay.
manage some health related records, you know.
Wow.
And
Amazing.
that's so persistence is supposed to be like a side hustle, but
It
well,
became, it became, no, this one, I don't even know what to call it because it's this side by side, but like,
yeah. So
right.
bringing IT. So I've been exposed to several aspects of IT: databases,
Right.
analytics, business analysis, artificial intelligence, and those kind of things, right? And
Mm,
so merging that with fashion first, it helps me master the necessary software skills, tools to create a lot of designs and automate processes without
right.
going all the manual ways and all that. It helps
Manual.
me do that. It
Mm,
helps me create designs. I'm one of my most recent ventures is t-shirts, embroidery systems, DTF prints, those kind of things. And so I
mm,
use artificial intelligence to create some of these designs.
wow.
I also automate a lot of my design processes. right? So it merges it for me, and I use automated systems to manage my inventory, to manage my, it's a lot. And I think that without even a background in IT in today's world, you need those tools.
You can't
Right,
escape
so
it.
it helps me,
Yes.
make things together. And of course, I can't begin to emphasize the use of the internet when it comes to knowledge seeking, information gathering, right? And so I've been able to, I can just look up analytics and say what's the current trend, or what will be, the trend based on the past data. Can you predict what's predictive analysis?
Yes.
What will be in vogue in the next X number of years, X number of
Whoa.
months, and it makes me ready, kind of,
Whoa.
with knowledge, with tools, with everything that I need. So it's been a very interesting journey. It's
Honestly,
challenging balancing everything I do, work, academics, kids, and all
we
that.
are coming to
But
that. You will
with
tell
the
us.
help of automation, IT tools, computers, it helps me. It balances it out well for me.
Wow. Even our audience are like, please, you need to tell us how you are doing all of these things, because how did what that, like, how are you achieving all this? I love it. And I just love how, what you just said now, the education is training the mind. It's like
Yeah,
expanding the capacity of the brain to be able to
absolutely.
learn fast,
Right,
adapt fast,
right,
act fast.
right.
And so because of that, like, oof, it's just beautiful how you have, like, you are truly the epitome of multi-potentialite. You are, because you've been able to get all the, like, merge it. And
Right.
even in the way that you show up, you're merging. Your brand name is merged. Your
Exactly.
even the solid rock behind you was merged, right? It was a combination
Absolutely.
of your parents, and
Right.
it's really, really beautiful to see. And thank you for sharing with us. So, guys that are watching, please, if you have any questions, you can type in the comment. I'll also take your questions as I go along with my own questions. So if you have questions, please type in the comment, and I'll take them as well. Now, your story, I think there's one question I wanted to ask you. Um, yes. So you've transitioned from creating to educating to launching Consiste, and then launching the academy,
Right.
and for me, see, your story is just building, and it shows intentionality, to be honest, because even from the definition of success, you already tabled out all these things. And so we are
Right.
just unpacking what you said about what
Absolutely.
success means to you. So you've transitioned all of these things. What was the turning point that led you to start the academy? And what kind of transformation do you hope to see in the students that you will be mentoring through this academy?
Good. Thank you for that question. Like I mentioned, I've been training for years, and I've also received a lot of trainings
Right.
from people. Apart from, I didn't do it all. Like, it's not like I did some information gathering and I became a pro myself. And so the turning point for Consistent Fashion Academy for me was a point where, of course, we do know that in Canada, you have, I don't want to say you don't have any supports when it comes to life generally. You have, and I mean, it's different from what we had in Nigeria, where you had a driver, you had this, you had that to help you, do stuff. While I was in Nigeria, I did have someone who would stay at my store that I would pay and I could afford to pay. In Canada, you can get the same, but you can do less than the minimum wage at the very least. And I was
Mm,
just, starting out in
starting,
Canada. And then I
right.
looked around. Um, Apart from that support not being available, there's so many people who desire such knowledge, who wants to know for hobby, for side hustle, for main hustle, for there's a part I didn't talk about, but I can talk about that now. Creativity is a form of occupational therapy when you are occupying your mind based on something that you're creating, and it can be anything. And when I say it can be anything, um sewing, making things with your hands, has
Mm,
a way of balancing out your emotions. And when you
right.
create whatever you create and you see, you created it from start to finish, there's something it does to you. So
Mm,
that's in addition to um the needed support around here, the needed knowledge to have people. You want to make clothes, there's no need to take it back home. You want to stitch something that ripped, you can do it yourself. you know
mm,
that need that I see around here is one of the major things that's gave me
mm.
that nudge to
Desire,
say,
like,
you've been doing
mm,
this for so long, girl. You can start it up again. You can pick
mm,
it up. Although we're still taking baby steps, as it were, right? Because the vision is to have something massive, something
massive,
really,
like a whole
where people can
academy.
walk
Mm,
in, get all the trainings they need, move from department to department. Oh, I want to learn DTF. I want to learn cloth making. I want to learn embroidery. Have
right.
different physical location for each of those
For
things,
different
right? We are
departments.
not there yet,
Mm-hmm.
but we are we are
We
we
are,
are
we are,
we
we
are
are moving
we
towards
are
it.
moving. Yeah, the ministry is almost is
Moving to
almost
the permanent site.
moving forward. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was the inspiration for me. What we
Mm,
see in today's world. And I'm not saying this to say that there are no institutions where people can learn those things here, but Nigerian fashion is different. The way we do our things is different.
absolutely.
You don't. I don't see how, with all the things going on in the fashion industry in Nigeria currently.
Toy.
It's massive, it's
It's
huge,
amazing.
right? And there are different aspects to it. There's so many
Right,
aspects to it. So there's definitely that need
right,
to contribute as much as I can in my
right.
own little way
Way,
to
right,
it. Yeah, and
right. I
that's
love
part of
it.
the inspiration
I
for me.
love it. I love it. Okay, I'll quickly take a question from the audience before I go
Sure.
back to my own questions.
Okay.
So, Adeni is asking, Oluwayemisi says, were there times that you felt like giving up or felt like this isn't working? How did you handle those moments? She says.
Oh, great question. Of course, there were times when so many times actually, where I was just discouraged. At some
Mm,
point I would feel overwhelmed. But the way to get past that is to remember your why. Why did you even start it in
mm,
the first place? Are you
right.
willing to let go of that reason? Is that reason important enough? Is this something you want to achieve? So you can. So when I find myself asking questions like that, being discouraged, I pause for a little while. I do some reflection. If I need a break, I take a break, but I would always come back because my why is very important. And one of my major whys, apart from everything I've spoken about, my children. I need to show them. They need to see that you can create something out of nothing. You can create something. You can start something, and you can definitely finish whatever it is you start if you're passionate enough about it.
Right. Right. I love it. Thank you. Adeni Yoluwayemisi, I hope that that answered your question. So please, if you also have questions, please do drop them in the comment section. What are your thoughts around immigrants starting a business in Canada? Now, I know, like you said, it's a whole different ball game.
Yes.
So what would you have to say in that regard if somebody is watching this and maybe they're not just even in Canada, or maybe they're just immigrants somewhere else, and because of the peculiarity of the market, based on your own experience, what would you say to them to probably give them hope to say, don't worry, it's tough. I won't lie. I wish sugarcoat it, but what would you say to them?
Yeah, that's a great question. It is very tough. It is very tough. Either you're just starting out in Canada or you had something back from your own country and you're looking to replicate same here. We are in a different space where there are different rules, different laws, different things you need to be aware of.
Right.
I think one of the first things I should say is that it is doable, it is achievable. No
Mm,
matter how enormous you want it, no matter how big the vision is, you can do it. A lot of people have done it in the past. A lot of the people are figuring it out right now. They're doing it as we speak. And
mm,
so you can definitely do it. One thing that I know that is very important that we need to be aware of as immigrants on this journey is the place of knowledge and information. You need
absolutely.
to be able to do your, digging around, ask questions. I always tell my kids, if you want something or you need something and you have not asked questions, it is an automatic no from you to you, right? Oh, yes, you
Mm,
have told yourself no, because, I mean, if you don't ask, how do we know you need it? How do we know you want it? So, in the same vein, you must be able to ask questions. There's so many organizations around now that supports businesses.
mm,
There's so many information online, unlike how it was back in the days. So,
right.
and a lot of people are willing to actually support. There are a lot of mentors and organizations. I think there is Futurepreneur. Futurepreneur
Mm,
is one of those organizations
right.
that's definitely open to supporting, and of course, so many grants and loans and those things are very available
VCs.
here. I'm sure. I think even more than we had back in Nigeria. I can't speak to other people's home countries.
Correct.
Yeah, but we have a lot of facilities, a lot of bodies, a lot of organizations willing to support. So definitely, have it in mind first that you can do it. Figure out
Right.
how to do it and get it
Mm,
done.
right. Absolutely. I love it. And I think that thing you mentioned about knowledge and information is something that I'm Nigerian, so I'm just going to say this just because I want us to, especially if you're also Nigerian and you're listening and you're not in Nigeria, so you are part of the diaspora. It is a mind shift that we need to imbibe, which is this asking questions and
Right.
truly asking and gaining knowledge because we kind of thrive on fear a lot. So
Exactly.
somebody said something said we rather hear from somebody that said that somebody said rather than go to the source and find out, hey, don't go and ask the question now, let them. But you just say, me, I went, it did not work, and that's the person own that you're going to jump on, right? And I think it's a cultural thing that we need to work on, that we
Right.
need to consciously change. And just with what you said, ask questions. I love how you
Exactly.
said it. If you don't ask, if you need something and you don't ask, you are automatically saying no to yourself from yourself. That one, it slapped me. Ah, no, 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 no. I'm also a victim of this, and I'm like, no, never again is this going to happen. I'm
Right.
never going to, sit on they said. There is a source.
Right.
There are government parastatals. There are official offices where you can go
Mm-hmm.
and make inquiry. Go and
Right.
make the inquiries first.
And they'll be more than happy to help.
Do you
That's part of
understand?
why they're there. Yeah, they'll be more than happy to provide
Exactly.
those
So,
information.
I
Yeah.
mean, this is a big one for Nigerians. Please do not keep quiet and do not sit on hearsay. Go to the source, ask questions. And actually, you'll be shocked that there are people who are actually willing to help you.
Right.
So, thank you. Thank you so much for putting that out. Like knowledge, seek knowledge, and ask questions.
Right. And
Now,
implements because
and
I fell
implement,
into,
yes,
yeah, I fell into a trap where I gathered a lot of answers,
information.
information, kept them somewhere, and looked at it for so long.
I love it. I love
Information
it.
overload is something else. So implement,
Absolutely.
do it afraid.
Implement.
Start doing it. You
Yes.
fine tune it as you go, but it's
Take
definitely
baby
achievable.
steps. I love it. Absolutely. Okay, so Scholatica is asking, we'll take another question from the audience. It says, how do you conquer that fear to ask? See, Scholatica, I see, I understand this question more than you think so because there is the fear of asking is real. So please, how do you overcome it?
Yeah, that's a valid question because number one, when I first got here in Edmonton, I had, in fact, after university days, after finishing from Obafemi University, I didn't want to work. I told myself I was not going to do any 9 to 5, but then I found myself doing my masters and had my mom, my mom paid for my masters, and at some point she said, I don't know if I should say if I should say it the way she said it or I should translate it for the audience. I think I'll pick the translation. When you knew you were not going to do a 9 to 5, why did you go for a master's in information technology? And so after doing all those, I didn't want to work. I wanted to do my business, even from Nigeria, like 100%. But when I got to Canada, I was afraid. So I can relate to Scholastica's question. I was afraid because I didn't want any problem before I go and ask now and expose that I wanted to do it this. But it's not a crime to want
Mm,
to know. You have not
mm,
committed any offense. If you're
any-
asking questions, even if what you want to do is not legitimate, you'll be redirected.
You'll be
That, oh, we don't do that here.
absolutely
So you must be able to, number one, do some groundwork, do some
right.
the internet. Like there's so like I don't think there is anything that is not available on the internet. So do your
Mm,
groundwork, find the right organizations to ask questions, find the right. You might not get mentors, right? As in, you might not get human mentors right now, but you definitely see bodies to ask questions. You
mm,
can type your emails, you can get phone
right.
calls, having a conversation with someone on the phone, would not hurt. So you must be able to know first that your mindset, you must be able to work on your mind. You are not
Mm,
doing anything, that is not legal. And there's no crime in asking, even
asking.
if, like, for real, what you want to venture into is a crime. What would happen is you'll be redirected. They will tell you, oh, you can't do that here, or we do not, engage in such activities here, and you would have your answer.
Exactly. And then
And so yeah,
actually to then
that's
help
yeah.
you not to
It will
fall
help
into
you
the
exactly. And you
mistake,
can,
right?
it's like when you're peeling an onion, right? You go from asking that first question and then you dig in some
Dig
more
deeper.
till you get till you get to the core,
Absolutely.
what you actually need to get started. So yes,
Absolutely. Yes. Please.
that's what I did, and I'm talking about what,
I
because
love
for
it.
so long I wasn't sure what to do, I wasn't sure how to start and all that, but here we are today.
Right. Honestly, I think that's it. Like, so thank you, Scholatica, for asking that question. Just do it. Then follow Nike. Just ask.
Just do it,
Besides,
yeah,
it's a
and do it
question.
afraid. Do it
Yes.
afraid.
Yes.
Yeah, you might be
It's
you
a
might be
question. In
scared.
fact, that's the least thing you can that's the least you can do. Ask questions.
Right,
And the funny thing is, generally in life, people love to feel like they are helping. Even the
right,
worst person,
exactly,
even
exactly.
the worst person wants to be in a position where it feels like they are helping you.
Yeah,
And the best way to catch anybody to make them feel like they are helping you is to ask questions.
right, right.
That's it. Ask questions. So maybe start small, practice asking question on a daily basis. So for example, you're walking on the road and it's not like you don't know the road, but you're practicing your askability.
That's
Let me
ability.
put it like that. So ask somebody, please, do you know how I can get to? Do you get? So like that. In the mall, if you are in the mall, I mean, different places, right? So just be situation aware, where
Right,
you are and know who you are asking, but you can practice your way. It could be ensure that it's a safe space where you can ask questions, but practice it. And I think you will get used to asking questions without feeling awkward, right?
absolutely, absolutely.
Right. So, Veronica, your book Tea Craft Blueprint is it launched already? Because we're supposed to launch in January with
Launched
you.
already.
It's fantastic,
Launched
right?
already.
What inspired that as well? I know you are a woman of many hats and many capacity, and like it's like you are determined. Like, see, everything God puts in me, I will use it in this life before I leave, right? So, what
Right,
inspired
exactly.
you
That is the
to put?
mindset. I tell
Yes,
people that as much as it sounds, or it might sound awkward, one of my greatest desires is to die empty.
bam,
Empty.
bam.
Pour it all out. Fulfill those potentials. Get it
I'm with
done.
you. I'm
Check
with you.
all the boxes as much as God allows me and gives
Can
me the ability.
right, right.
I am a lover of books. I like to read a lot. And when I say read, I'm not. I don't even know. If you ask me the kind of books I like to read, I'll tell you. Python, data warehouse, all my IT stuff. So it's not like just reading for pleasure. When I'm looking for information or trying to get a problem solved,
Research.
I like to
Mm,
dig in and look for resources, and because the truth is, there is someone has put out some information
something.
the exact way you need it to get that problem
Mm,
solved. And
mm.
so I had to I had to develop that ability to read, to sit down, relax, and get those information out of either books, either ebooks or hard copy books, right? And so when I started doing my t-shirts business, I struggled to find the resources, the name. You know how in Nigeria we have names that we call, and anybody in the creative space in Nigeria will know what I'm talking about. So we have names that we call those tools that we use in Nigeria, and those names are very peculiar and special names. They're special to us. We have a way to, thanks to my Yoruba and Igbo brothers, we have special names we call those things. So ima- imagine knowing what you want to achieve, but
But
not
you
knowing
don't
what it
know
is
the name.
called. So
How do you
I dug
explain?
around. I dug around. There's this I'm trying to, there's this beads. It's now I know the name. Rondos. In Nigeria we used to call them kots.
Hey, way.
So you go to
Like from
Lagos
where to
market,
where?
it don't matter. And tell those people guys that, oh, I need two kots for beaded bags and those kind of things. They know what to give you. But you don't
Wow.
come here to say what's kots. They don't even know
What's
what
cut
that is,
cut?
right? And that's just an example. And so I had a lot of idea. I have so many things in mind that I wanted to create with t-shirts. I
Mm,
wanted to embellish, regular t-shirts. I wasn't making a t-shirt from scratch. Just pick a
right.
blank t-shirt and embellish it with all sorts of
Delicious.
things. And I was
Mm,
struggling for names of materials, of tools to use. There are some that when you put on t-shirts, it gives a 3D feeling. There's a name
mm,
for that. There is some that gives a matte flat like texture. There's a name for that. I didn't know what to call those things. And so I started Googling stuff. So I started looking around. And as a new immigrant trying to settle down with a family and all that, I knew that as much as I wanted to do this, I didn't want to go into it full time because I had not done my market analysis. I didn't know what will sell here. I could not invest our family little family income into this. So I was doing it by the side while trying to
carefully.
minimize cost.
Mm,
And so I struggled. But
mm.
then, having figured it out now, C Craft Blueprints is my gift to to people. You don't need to
Right.
struggle. You don't need to look for
Oh,
where to find what. It's all in there. And
wow.
Craft Blueprints is, I mean, it has been launched. It's an ebook on currently on Amazon. Of course, you can order the hard copy, hard cover if you want, and you get it delivered to your doorstep. It has all the things you need if you are looking to get into the t-shirt business. All of
Wow.
the machines, the
So more
tools,
like a directory.
directory exactly, and that's why it's my blueprint to you guys. It shows
Oh,
it guides you, it shows you the way, it tells you what you need, where you need it, where you
mm,
need to, where you would get it from, and how to even use those things. So
right.
it brings all of my years of research and findings and all those things together in one place. So that's
Mm.
information that wasn't accessible to me, that I had to struggle to get. I've put
You
that's
have
those
gotten it
information
now,
with my
packaged it.
experience and knowledge and a beautiful heart all into that project.
Wow.
And I'm gifting it to the
So
society.
sweet.
Of course, for a token.
Of course. Of course. Okay, but is it peculiar to designers in Canada, or
No, no,
can
no, no. It's
any
open
designer
to,
work
yeah. It's it's
global?
it's it's open to everyone. Yeah.
Okay, okay. That's fantastic. Like
Right.
you are living out the dream. You are already making daddy proud. Yes. Because even the book is a successor, right? Like
Right. Right.
years down the
Right.
line, that book
Right.
is still going
Right.
to
Why
live as
why why
your
go with all the
legacy.
knowledge when you can actually leave something behind for anybody
Do you
years from
understand?
now to
Do
exactly.
you
That's part of the
understand?
motivation. Yeah.
Right. And so that is so beautiful. So thank you for gifting designers with that, guide to reduce the stress that you went through so they don't have to go through it. And that is such a beautiful heart you have displayed
Thank
there.
you. Thank
As
you.
we are getting ready to wrap up this conversation, as a multi hyphenated, multi potentialite, multi the woman with so many hats and plenty feathers on each hat. And you're building a legacy through design and education. What advice would you give to other women who are feeling the pull between their creativity, their family life, and the pressure to choose one? there is many information out there, and for the longest time we'll be bombarded. You have to be one thing. And so, but there are those who are genuinely empowered, like they have the capacity to be many things at the same time. Just like you said at the beginning when you were introducing yourself, like, I'm a woman of many hats, and I am equally passionate across board and equally excellent across board. Now, it is not like you are bragging, it is because that is your reality. And there are those people who cannot, right? So
Right.
if there are women like you out there and they are still struggling, like, okay, which one do I choose now? Should I just sit to the family? Can I do this? What would you say to them?
Fantastic question again. Thank you. I see this question as an opportunity to further elaborate some of the things I've spoken about before, but bring it together. The first thing is you matter. And
Mm,
so, what I mean by that is you must be able to balance it out. You must be able to prioritize. You can do everything you set your mind to do, but you cannot do everything at the same time. So you need to prioritize. You need to have a list of the things you would like to venture into, but also know that there's a need to balance it out. So at every stage of my life till now, and of course I intend to follow through as I'm growing, I've always picked my priorities. For
mm,
where I am today, Emmanuel, David, and Joshua, those are my kids,
mm,
comes right after Veronica Olukotun is, functional, right? So that means as women, as we try to balance family, work, kids, and all that, prioritize yourself. Ensure
mm,
that you work-life balance, self-care, those things are not just words. You must be able to look after yourself, eat well, dress well, do what you like to do, have your own money. Those having your own money is a form of self-care. Trust me.
mm.
Oh yeah, it's a form of self-care. Have your own money. And it doesn't mean that you have to be hyper independent. No. But you
Right,
must know what matters to you, and you must know that you matter, right? Because the truth is, no matter how ambitious we are, you can never pour from an empty cup.
right.
You must be able to refuel yourself. If not,
Mm,
you won't be able to do all those things you want to do well. You won't be able to take care of your family well if that's part of, your priorities, right? We should be as women. And so, you must be able to first prioritize yourself. Um, have your order of priority. For me, after it's God first, that's God factor. After Veronica, I look after my beautiful children, my wives, my blessings. They push me to do so much. I want to create a better life for them than I had. I want to inspire them based on my words, my actions, and even my inactions, the things I choose
mm.
not to engage in. Your ability to
Yes.
say no is also very important. You must be
Oof.
able to set your boundaries and know
Mm,
that, you know what, I can say no to myself that, this thing is too much for me. I can't do it now. I must also be able to say no to other people that they're asking things of me. You need that balance. You need that clarity. You need to, it's because the truth is, we can get if you engage in all those things that you want to do, you'll be spreading yourself too thin and you'll be under functioning across board.
mm.
That's the truth. You'll be under functioning across board. In addition to that, ask for help. Delegate. Let people help you. Trust me, I'm struggling with this at the moment. I am struggling with it.
I
I
know.
would naturally prefer to just get things done
Do
myself
my
than
thing.
wait on others. Or I have zero tolerance for
Sluggishness,
being,
mess.
I but the truth is you can't do it alone. You need other
Right,
people. You need help. So please ask for help and be gracious while doing it. Understand that people cannot also live their lives, their priorities, and attend to
and
you
just
if you're not
focus.
priority to them, or if whatever you're
Right,
asking of them does not align with what they want to do currently with where they are in life. And so those
right.
things are very important. You must be able to strike a balance. You
Mm,
must be able to first know yourself also. Be aware of the things that really matter to you.
yes, absolutely.
There's a way you can be busy at nothing. just waking up, going to this, going to that, taking care of children, you're just doing all those things without filling your own cup. So you need
Mm,
to be clear. Clarity, patience, God, those things are very important. I mean, I can go on and on and
wow,
on speaking about this, but that's something that has worked for me.
wow,
And I'm not saying I'm the point of reference when it comes to balancing out things, because I'm still learning and growing. But of
absolutely.
course, you must be willing to unlearn your old habits that has not been working for you, that has stressed you, or that has not worked in one way or the other. Learn new ones. If that's not working, or you need to also, optimize that, you can also relearn new. It's life is easy if you
It's
make it easy
free.
for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that
So
thing you just said now made me
that's what I
remember
would
the
say.
song. You just said that song. I just remember this Infinity song. You know, are you live when it's only Baba? Why you
Bye,
live?
you
Yeah,
live.
says, life is easy for those who believe life is easy. And
Right.
thank you so much for bringing it all together. First, know the God factor. Like, you cannot, like, that's something that has worked for her. And she's not even mincing words about it.
Yeah.
The God factor. After that, you are next. Know yourself, know what you want, know what's good for you, know what you want to do, all the
Right.
things you want to do, know them, and then prioritize which one comes first in each season. So it means
Right.
that for every season, there's something that will be at the top. And it does not mean
Exactly.
that the other parts are not important. It's just that
Exactly.
for this season, this one will have more of my attention, more of my energy, more of my
Right.
focus than
Right.
the other part, right? And so, but knowing that actually takes away the guilt as well, because
Yeah.
that's something that a lot of women struggle with, guilt.
Correct.
And that's why I say, after all the sacrifice I did for you, this child, and the child is like, Mom, did I send you to sacrifice for
Exactly.
me?
The child also the child would also have a life, would
Do
have
you
priorities at some point. Yes. So you must be able to
exactly
live your life in
right?
such a way that you are not guilt tripping a child in the future.
Yes, exactly. So that when you need to sleep, you can tell them, see, kids, mommy needs her time now. Whatever I
Right.
want to do, either go to daddy or whatever you scream, you scream. When you finish screaming, go to bed and sleep. But mommy needs her time now. Like, you can build that kind of, so everybody knows that they are responsible to a level. And so you
Right.
don't also feel guilty by pouring yourself completely and having nothing for you. And I think that's so beautiful. So know yourself, be aware, prioritize, take care of yourself. We can't
Very
say it
important.
enough. You
Very,
cannot
very
pour
important.
from an empty cup. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And self care is not selfishness, it's you actually showing love and respect for those you love. Because if you don't care for you, you can't really
Right.
care for them the
That's
way
the truth.
that's to be beneficial for them. So thank you so much, Veronica. You've been an amazing guest. Like the comment section says it, or like you're just dropping nugget back to back. Somebody even said earlier on, like, I should bring you back. Oh, like I
Oh
just dropped
my.
it. Thank you so much. And I
Thank you
just want
too.
to, wish you all the best on your journey as you continue to impact life. Like, I see it, it's already a part of you impacting lives, and with what you do, who you are as well. And it's such a beautiful thing to experience, even in the short time that I've conversed with you. And I just want to wish you all the best and say, keep being amazing, keep inspiring, keep impacting lives, and yes, live full. And when you're
Absolutely.
about to
Amen.
exit, there's nothing left. Like, I have finished, though. I've done everything that's on my bucket list. Now I can go and rest. And
Right.
I hope that, even like your dad has left his own legacy, we will be able to talk about your legacy, or others will be able to talk about your legacy after your long transition from this realm.
Right.
Thank you so much. And
Thank you
for
too.
creating time to be here today. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, mostly ladies, I believe. Thank you for joining us on her Success Story series today. Until we come your way again in 2 weeks' time with another beautiful guest sharing their journey to success, what success means to them, and sharing that journey to where they are. This is her Success Story series, and this is the Energetic EJ. If you're yet to follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. You are wrong. Yes, I repeat, you are wrong. So please do well to follow, to subscribe, and do well to share. It will not collect anything from your account. Just share the link, share it with a sister, and let them be inspired by the stories that we share on the platform. Till we come your way again next time. This is saying ciao. Bye.
Right, thank you.